Hi, in this video, I'm going to discuss the first writing lesson, which is about the writing process. Now, when I talk about the writing process, then I'm talking about the steps that you need to follow in order to end up with a well-written paragraph or essay. And as the name implies, process means steps. And the first step is to explore. The second one is developing. The third one is revising and editing. Now, each one of these three steps has some sub-points that you need to consider. In this video, we're going to take only the exploring part. We're going to discuss it in details and give you examples about these sub-points. So, الwriting process هي العملية يلي أنا لازم اتبع الخطوات تعولها حتى بالنهاية أوصل يكون عندي مقطع أو يكون عندي نص أنا أكتبه يكون خالي من الأخطاء. شو هن هيدول الخطوات اللي أنا لازم اتبعهم؟ أول شي عند الاستكشاف، تاني شي التوسيع، تالت شي المراجعة والتحرير. وكل واحدة من هول الخطوات إلها خطوات متضمنة فيها لازم أنا أتبعها حتى بالآخر يكون عندي نص متقن. بهيدا الفيديو حنحكي بس عن exploring اللي هي أول step، أول خطوة writing process. So as we have mentioned in the previous slide, there are four main sub-points that I need to consider when I talk about exploring, or what we call in Arabic الاستكشاف. What do I need to explore? What do I need to know before I start writing my paragraph? I need to know the topic, I need to know the audience, the purpose, and I need to try some exploring strategies. What do I mean by consider your topic? This means that you cannot start writing a paragraph without knowing what you are going to talk about. So I need to know what exactly I'm going to write about. And usually the topic will be provided to you by your instructor, so you shouldn't worry about it. Now, the second sub-point in exploring is I have to know my audience. And by the word audience, I mean the people who are going to read your paragraph or your essay. Now, why should I know my audience before I start writing my paragraph? Because the language that you're going to use would differ if you are talking, if your audience is kids. Okay, if your audience is made up of kids, then this means that you are going to use in your paragraph simple words, simple vocabulary terms. You're going to use simple language, simple grammar, because at the end, these are kids. Whereas if you're going to talk to your audience as a professional, then you're going to use some professional terms, scientific terms, and the language is going to be much more advanced. So the second point that you need to consider in exploring is the audience. Now, the third point is to consider your purpose. Purpose simply means why am I writing this paragraph? Why am I writing that? And we have three different purposes. The first one is to entertain, the second one is to persuade, and the third one is to inform. Now, what is entertain? Entertain is just, for you to have fun while to have fun. So, for example, you're going to write about something interesting that happened to you during your trip, what your neighbor did last night. So these are just, for fun, to entertain. This is the first purpose I may write about. Now, the second purpose could be to persuade. يعني I'm going to write this paragraph to persuade people to do something or to stop doing something. For example, I can write a paragraph to persuade people to start doing sports because this is very healthy. Or I can write a paragraph to persuade them to stop smoking. So my aim, my goal is to convince them, to persuade them to do something or to stop doing something else. The third purpose for writing any paragraph or essay is to inform. To inform means is just to give some ideas, some information. So and I can write a paragraph to talk about the advantages of playing sports. I can write a paragraph to talk about the disadvantages of smoking. I can write a paragraph to talk about the causes of pollution. So I'm just providing you with information. I don't need to convince you. I'm not entertaining you. I'm just giving you information. Now, number 4, the last point in exploring is trying some exploring strategies, and I have several exploring strategies. Some of them are free writing, brainstorming, clustering, or webbing. Now, what is free writing? Free writing is simply when you get a piece of paper and a pen and you start writing about any topic that comes up to your mind. So usually free writing is done for a few minutes just to overcome the writer's block. So we all sometimes face this, and I need to write something, but I have no ideas. I cannot get ideas. So you just need to go free writing, write about anything, and then you will see that the ideas will start coming up to your mind. So أول خطوة بالwriting process هي الاستكشاف. في 4 أشياء لازم استكشفها أنا قبل ما بلش اكتب الباراجراف، اكتب النص تاعي. أول شيء الموضوع، لازم أعرف شو هو الموضوع، لازم حدد الموضوع. وعادة المعلمة هي اللي حتقلكن شو هو الموضوع يلي انتو لازم تحكوا عنه. تاني خطوة لازم استكشفها هي الجمهور. بالجمهور أنا بقصد مين رح يقرأ النص يلي أنا حأكتبه. يعني هذا النص اللي أنا عم بكتبه لمين موجه؟ هل هو موجه لأولاد صغار؟ هل هو موجه للشباب؟ هل هو موجه لعالم متخصصة بحقل ما؟ ليه لازم أعرف الجمهور تاعي؟ حتى أعرف أي لغة استخدم. إذا أنا عم بحكي مع أولاد، أكيد اللغة اللي لازم استخدمها أنا وعم بكتب لازم تكون كتير بسيطة. المفردات اللي أنا بدي استعملها لازم كمان تكون كتير بسيطة. بينما لو أنا عم بحكي مع عالم متخصصة بمجال ما، مع عالم بروفيشنال، بدي استعمل عبارات علمية، بدي استعمل لغة شوي تكون advanced، لأنه الجمهور مختلف. تالت شغلة لازم استكشفها هي السبب. ليش أنا عم بكتب هيدا النص؟ عندي 3 أسباب: للترفيه، للإقناع، ولإعطاء معلومات. للترفيه يعني أنت عم تحكي عن يمكن الرحلة اللي أنت رحتها أنت ورفقاتك، وشو صار معكم وكيف انبسطتوا وشو لعبتوا. تاني سبب ممكن يكون للإقناع، يعني أنا عم بكتب لحتى أقنع القارئ يعمل شيء أو يوقف يعمل عادة. يعني أنا ممكن أكتب نص حتى أقنع القارئ إنه يلعب رياضة أو إنه أقنعه إنه يوقف دخان. هدفي كله من النص اللي أنا عم بكتبه إنه أقنعه بشي محدد. تالت سبب هو لإعطاء المعلومات. يعني simply بكل بساطة أنا عم بحكي، عم بعطيكم، عم بدي أكتب باراجراف هسا أعطيكم معلومات عن فوائد الرياضة، عن سلبيات السوشيال ميديا، عن أسباب التلوث. هدفي بس أعطيكم معلومات، ما بدي لا أقنعكم بالموضوع ولا للترفيه. رابع خطوة هي استراتيجيات ما قبل الكتابة. يعني هي الخطوات يلي أنا ممكن اتبعها لحتى يصير عندي أفكار حتى أقدر بلش بالباراجراف. أول example هو في عندي كتير استراتيجيات. في عندي الفري رايتنج، البرين ستورمينج، والكلاسترينج أو يلي بنسميها ويبنج. الفري رايتنج هي simply أنا بجيب ورقة وقلم وبكتب عن أي موضوع خاطر ببالي، يمكن ما يكون هو الموضوع الفعلي اللي أنا بدي أكتبه، بس بعمل هيدي الطريقة، بكتب 2-3 حيلا شي بيخطر عبالي، بس حتى مثل ما بنقول فوت بالجو ويبلش يطلع عندي أفكار. طيب حناخد لكن هلأ حكينا عن الفري رايتنج. Now we're going to talk about brainstorming. Brainstorming in Arabic is called عصف ذهني. حاخد example. إذا أنا قلت لكم بدي أكتب موضوع عن السوشيال ميديا، شو هي الأفكار اللي بتجي على بالكم؟ يمكن تقولوا لي فيسبوك، انستغرام، تويتر. سوشيال ميديا يعني نيو فريندز، سوشيال ميديا يعني أنا فيني أعمل advertisement and I can find a job on social media. كل هذه الأفكار اللي بتخطر على بالكم بس ما أقول أنا كلمة سوشيال ميديا حاكتبهم عندي هون. في عندي كتير أفكار ممكن تطلع عندي. أوكي، هذا اللي بنسميه brainstorming. يعني I just give you a topic, you think about all the points related to this topic and you write them down as points. Okay, so I have several examples in here. So social media, and I may talk about Facebook, I may talk about the news, like sports, politics, economy. They are all found at social media platforms. About social media means making new friends, hacking, finding a job. So all these points, I write them down, okay? And this is what we call brainstorming. هي الأفكار اللي بتخطر على بالي وقت أنا أذكر موضوع محدد. Now, as you can see in this table, I have several points that I can group. يعني if you look in here, I have Facebook, I have Instagram, and I have Twitter. Now, these 3 points, I can put them in one category and I can call it social media platforms. Okay? Now, maybe making new friends, finding a job, education. These are some good points about social media, and I can put them under one category, which is called the advantages. Okay, now in the coming slide, in this slide, okay, you can see how I divided them into categories. I have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They all fall under one category and they are very similar to each other. They discuss the main a common point, which is different platforms. I have news, making new friends, finding a job that are in green, and education. They also make another category اللي هي ممكن it could be the advantages of social media, hacking, wasting time, cyberbullying, destroying family bonds, addiction, and privacy. These are the disadvantages of social media. So brainstorming is you give me some ideas that come up to your mind when I mention the topic, and then at a later step you can divide them into categories. البرينستورمينج هي عصف ذهني، هي عبارة عن بعطيك أنا موضوع، أنتوا بتكتبوا الأفكار اللي بتخطر على بالكم بتكون متعلقة بهالموضوع، وبعدين هذه الأفكار اللي كتبتوها أكيد ما حتكون مرتبة، بعدين أنتوا بتطلعوا فيها وبترتبوها ب categories، بترتبوها كل وحدة تحت category محددة. This is what we call brainstorming. Now, just to make it clear to you, I divided them into 3 categories. مثل ما قلنا platforms. So social media, I can talk about social media platforms. فيني أعمل موضوع بس أحكي عن منصات السوشيال ميديا. The other point is advantages. I can make another paragraph about the advantages of social media and a third paragraph about the disadvantages. So I started with brainstorming. I wrote all the ideas that came up to my mind and then I divided them into categories. This will lead me now to the third example of the exploring or pre-writing strategies, which is the clustering. Now, I'm going to talk about clustering in the second video.
كان معكم دكتور أناون. بشوفكم الفيديو الجاي. See you.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.